Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. I'll buy 12 of her albums, no problem.
That's funny. Yeah, they can buy albums. That would be wicked.
But I'm so enjoying this because we did get off on the wrong foot, but I'm sincere. I will admit when I'm wrong. And what what inspires you to be you, and how do you deal with a difficult day and just make it all cheery?
Oh, it's difficult. Being in the industry that I am, you do have days where you wake up and you're like, that's it. I'm done. I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I can't believe this is what I've chose. But 3 hours later, I'm usually fine. And, what really helps me, especially if I'm having a hard day musically, I go on the internet and I go on my Facebook fan page and I talk to my fans and just communicate and book stuff and get my manager to do stuff, and it kind of makes me feel good. Like, if I get a really cool show and I'm having a bad day, it just brightens my day completely. So, I mean, I do have days where I'm just not having a good day, and it's not because of music. It's just, it could be because of the weather, but I love listening to country music, which is probably something very obvious, but it really does help me cheer up. And shopping helps me cheer up, too.
And here's the thing. My platform, for some reason, just disconnected me. I don't care. Because I got to right now, and I'm going to re-upload, and everybody's going to hear the whole thing. And I do apologize about that. But I'm going to tell you right now that happened. However, for the listeners, soon, what do you like to do when you're not, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies. I love designing stuff. Actually, all the posters and stuff that you see on my page, it's my choice, and I actually design them myself, just because I love doing it. That's what I do in my spare time. I love designing stuff and kind of going on and just doing stuff like that. But I also love, working out and eating. Those are my hobbies. I don't get much time to do a lot of that stuff, so when I get to, it's kind of refreshing. But I love anything to do with designing, interior design, like graphic design. I love baking, a bunch of that stuff. I love working out, and yeah, I think it's really cool to do all that stuff. I don't get much time to do it, but when I do, it's definitely refreshing.
All right, and if you could tour with anybody out there, and I'm sure you've been on so many interviews, it's not funny, but to find a question you haven't heard is probably not going to happen. But if you could tour with anybody, that alive or dead, who would you want to tour with and why?
Oh, that's really difficult. Carrie Underwood would definitely be my number one. So would Miranda Lambert. It would be really difficult. If I got the call from any of them, I would definitely be there in a heartbeat. Wouldn't even have to ask me twice. I think it would be really cool to tour with a few, classic country artists. I think it would be awesome to tour with Loretta Lynn or Dolly Parton. But nobody actually knows this about me, but I absolutely love Johnny Cash. So if he was still alive, I would love to tour with Johnny Cash. I think that would be really, really cool.
What about Jamie Johnson?
That would be cool, too. I love all of the, classic country is probably one of my favorite country, favorite types of country. I love the new stuff, but the classic stuff is, amazing to sing. I love kind of making it my own. I sing a song called Your Cheating Heart in my show by Hank Williams Sr., and it's absolutely one of my favorite songs, and it's one of the most songs that I get compliments for. is that song, just because nobody's ever heard it sung the way that I sing it. So it's really cool taking a classic country song and kind of making it your own.
That is absolutely badass. Well, I mean, this is a show you could say anything you want, but I'm trying to tone down it because we're actually trying to get on iHeart Talk as we speak as well. So
awesome stuff.
And I've already argued with our platform, being like, "Hey, we have all these artists. Hey, you got all these shows that aren't as good as us. Give us a shot here," you know. But
sure, everybody deserves a shot.
Exactly, everybody does. So, what? Tell me a tour story or a road story, real quick. I know you're pressed on time and everything, and you may have another interview in another 7 minutes, but real quick.
Tour story. Probably. There's so many. It's really difficult. Okay, I'm going to tell a really funny one. I'm not going to tell one that's serious. So I was on my way to Nashville. I was going to perform in Nashville. And I got offered to fly there, and I'm like, no, I have, lots of time. I absolutely love being on the road. I love driving. So my assistant and my mom came with me, and my assistant was actually driving the car. My mom was in the passenger seat, and I was in the back seat because I wanted to get some sleep. So we were just going through Ohio, and I'm sleeping, but I wake up because I'm hungry. So we go to Wendy's, I get a salad, and we go back on the road, and we're driving, and literally I turn to my left, and there is a busload of guys, and they were actually mooning me.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought it was hilarious. My assistant thought it was kind of weird. She was kind of like trying to like cover in her like peripheral vision, and I thought it was funny. That's definitely the weird stuff that happens on the road. Like, you'll get weird people that will look in your car, and you know that awkward moment when you kind of look at someone in another car, and you just like look away really quickly because you realize that they realize you're staring at them. It was kind of that thing, like. But once I turned and I saw all these guys, and they were kind of like, there was other guys doing like funny stuff, like laughing and stuff with these guys mooning me out the window. It was like a train wreck. I just couldn't turn away. I thought it was hilarious. So that was a kind of funny story that happened to me. But there's been tons of stuff. I mean, I've fallen off stage. I've done some funny things along the way. I've ruined outfits along the way. Some weird stuff has happened to me, but it makes for good memories, definitely. But I would have to say, like, all the funny stuff happens when you're on the road for long periods at a time, because you start to get bored, and then just all this weird stuff happens. So it was pretty cool. Not the movie.
Wow.
Part,
though. Now, what would you say is your highlight of your life so far?
Oh, highlight of my life. The highlight of my life would definitely probably be releasing my album. I waited so long. I mean, as a child, I recorded like cover songs and stuff like that to kind of get my name out there. But being able to record my own music and everything like that has been amazing. So having the album in my hands was amazing. It was a feeling that I couldn't describe. It's so cool now to see people actually buy it and listen to it and not have one complaint about it. So the highlight in my career would definitely be going to Nashville and recording it and seeing the overall product of it.
And at what age did you start?
Pardon?
What age did you start doing music? I
started at 7.
So here you are...
20.
20. Wow. I've been talking to a 20-year-old that sounds like... See, this is the thing. I always talk to these, younger people, and very intelligent, very wise for their age. And then I talk to some of the older ones, and it's like, No.
It must be in the water. I don't know. Maybe it's something in the water.
But I mean, you know what you're doing. You got the business aspect down. You have, the touring aspect down. You have everything down, and you're not begging anybody for anything. You're like, okay, here I am. If you like me, awesome. If you don't, well, you'll eventually learn to like me.
Yeah, basically. That's usually how I've been in the business for, well, I wouldn't say too long, but long enough that you kind of have to grow beyond your years to become successful, because if you're going to be, 20 and immature,
All right.
it's not going to work out.
Exactly. Would you say that, those that hate on you or haters are, that say, okay, well, you're bad or whatever, because I'm sure you get them, even though you're phenomenal, really help you rather than they try to hinder you, but they really help you because then they spread your name out even more.
Yeah, that's the thing. I definitely don't get very many haters. When I do, I don't pay attention to it. If I do pay attention to it, if there is any haters listening, I definitely read the stuff. It doesn't bug me. Just because I've been in it too long, I've gotten criticized, and I've had things said to me that now it's just like, that's how you feel. It's completely fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Not everybody is going to like me, and not everybody is going to like my music. I value the people who do, but the thing is, even people who don't like me and don't like my music, they're taking the time to listen to it. They're clearly taking the time to buy it. And the thing is, it just doesn't bug me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really sad. I mean, the more it's better to have somebody talking about you than have nobody talking about you at all. So even when people who don't like me talk about me, my name's getting out there. So it's fine with me. They can keep promoting
exactly.
me.
And journalism is just that, and the same thing with media. Sometimes they just like to make a story up just to make a story. If I could tell you all the fake stories that I've heard in my life, it's not even funny.
Yeah, I know. It's some people. If it makes them feel better, they can say what they want. It really truly does make others feel better, and if that's the way that they like to go about things, that's their style. So it doesn't really bug a lot of people. I mean, especially people in the music industry. It's really hard to kind of phase us because there's been so many things. I've had industry people and everything tell me completely opposite than what they say. So they can say that I suck, that I'm not good and everything, but it doesn't matter. Like, there's tons of people that probably tell, that Carrie Underwood and Miranda Lambert get hate too, but they're one of the top girls in country music. So you can't really believe people, and if you do believe them, you're not going to get very far. You got to have a really strong backbone, and you got to have a strong head on you too, and learn to take the stuff that they say, because you can't believe somebody that doesn't know you personally, doesn't know a thing about you, doesn't know what you're about or who you are when you're not on stage. So you just got to value the people who really do enjoy your music instead of dwelling on the people who don't. You got to take it one day at a time, because one day you could have thousands of people say they love you, and the next day 20 people are going to say that they hate your music. But it's okay. I'd rather take the thousands of people that love it than the 20 people that don't. Maybe one day they will. They'll listen to a song and they'll like me, and that's how it usually goes. So haters.
Oh, all right. And before I let you go, I'm going to ask you a question that no one's asked you.
Okay.
If you had a bunch of homeless people, or some people call them bumps or whatever, like 5, 10, 20, whatever, and you're walking and they're like, oh my, that's Chelsea Kreitz and whatnot, would you treat them the same? And would you, if they asked you to sing, would you sing in front of them?
Yeah, I would. I actually have had that happen to me once. There was a less fortunate woman before I went into one of my shows in Hamilton and asked for a photo, and it doesn't bug me. People are people are people. I'm willing to take a photo with anybody if they want a photo. I'm not the type of person that's going to make people wait or, kind of ignore them.